and tools. It's giving Jeffrey Dahmer. It was giving Jeffrey Dahmer. I'm absolutely shook. I am
do something with it.
It's just money coming to me easily. Money coming in and needing me. Money coming in repeatedly. Money coming, it's just money coming. It's just money coming to me frequently. Money coming in to be with me. Money coming in secretly. Money coming, it's just money coming. It's just money coming to me.
So imagine me and my best friend are driving to the movies with my niece and nephews, and all I hear is, "Bitch, did you hear this story?" I'm like, "What story?" So they started telling me about this girl who basically invited this man over after a first date, right? And then she ended up telling him that, "Oh, well, my roommate locked me out and he's not answering his phone. Can I stay with you until he answers the phone?" So then I'm like, "Girl, this is a real story?" So she's telling me everything about the story, and I'm like, "Okay, oh my God, you gotta send me the story because I know you guys are gonna love this story." So let's listen to it, and then we'll see, because this girl almost got dextered in her own apartment. That is scary, bizarre. That is the reason why you should not invite anyone to your house. Let's take a look, and then my opinion will be at the end of the video.
Y'all need to stay off them dating apps. Did y'all see that I watched this woman talk about one of her friends' friends that was on a dating app, met a dude on a dating app, whatever. They went on a date. The date was cool. He paid for the date. Y'all, this is crazy. He paid for the date. It was all good vibes. The date comes to an end. They go their separate ways. He hits her back up like, "Hey, I left my keys in the house. My roommate's not answering. Could I maybe come over to yours, be kicking for a little bit, and while I wait for him to respond so I can get in the crib?" She's like, skeptical, but she's like, "Okay, cool, whatever." So he comes to her crib, mind you, just after their first date. He comes to their crib, and obviously she's not really thinking much because it was good vibes, and he, it was good vibes on the date. He paid, it was cool. And they're chilling, whatever. It starts to get really late. She's like, "You know what? I'm gonna go to bed." So yeah, I guess you could just chill here in the living room. So he's just gonna chill in the living room and sit until he's waiting for a response from his roommate. So then she goes in her room, but she locks the door, and then she goes to bed. She lays down. First off, let's intercept right here with my thoughts. As a woman, you should not be allowing no man you just met that same day be in your fucking house while you go ahead and lay your head down to go to sleep. Are you cool? Let alone, it doesn't even matter. Not even just men, any person. Are you cool? So you really went and laid down while somebody was in your fucking house? Not you allowed the okay. Back to the story. She hears a knock on the door in the middle of the night. I think she was 3 a.m. or something. I don't know if this really was 3 a.m., but I think it was 3. She hears a knock on the door, her bedroom door. So she doesn't get up and go to the door. She's like, "What's up?" She kind of just says "Hey, what's up?" Dude's like, "Oh, my phone, it died, but I'm still waiting on that response." I feel like at this point, shouldn't you be asleep too? Shouldn't you have maybe just passed out too? I don't know. But dude is like, "I haven't heard from my roommate yet. I need to charge my phone. You gotta charge it." She doesn't get up. She doesn't go out and show him where it is. She says, "Yeah, kitchen drawer. There should be a charger in there." He says, "Cool." She goes and she just, lays back down. She starts to go back to sleep. Then he comes back and knocks at the door again. He's like, "Hey, well, this charger's not working. Do you have a charger in your room?" This is not funny. Sorry. Whoa. He says, "Do you have a charger in your room?" First off, why the fuck? Nah, Because, bitch, one thing about me, I know everything about all of my stuff. I would know if I had a charger that didn't work. If I had a charger that didn't work, it'd be in the trash. So the fact that the charger works. I would immediately been like, the charger works. But she played it the perfect way. He like, "Do you have a charger in your room?" "But sir, why are you trying to get in this room so bad?" She's like, doesn't really say much. We don't know what happens in this. After that happened, she calls 911. She doesn't waste any time. She's just like me. It's giving twin them. You're just like me. Literally, because I'm so skeptical about so many things. I'm so skeptical and I'm so careful. And sometimes I could be seen as annoying about that, but I don't care. I look and read into every little thing. I don't care. I'm not about to be the one that's on the news. Sorry, I'm not. She calls the police, and so I guess the friend didn't specify what happened in between that time when the police were coming. So she calls the police. And I don't know if she was being like, "Hold on, let me get dressed." We don't know. I'm assuming she probably was pretending sleep or something like that. The door's locked. Y'all, the police gets to the fucking house. She hears the police knocking on her house door. And she still doesn't get up. She still doesn't go out. She waits. Then she hears the police and saying they're knocking on her room door. She's like, "Oh, they're in the house now." He opened the door. They were like, "Ma'am, we need you to open the door so we can come out and show you what's in your living room." Y'all, why the fuck does this woman go in her living room to see plastic tarp laid out in her living room with tools lined up, tools? This man was getting ready and preparing to dissect some shit. This man had tarp laid out throughout her fucking house. And tools. It's giving Jeffrey Dahmer. It was giving Jeffrey Dahmer. I'm absolutely shook. This is why, if this woman was to not be as skeptical, if she was just to be like most people and be like, oh, okay, let me come get you that charger. Oh, it's not working, and trying to be all nice and overly sweet. If this woman didn't trust her intuition or her gut, that woman would have been dissected in her own living room. She would have made, she paved the way for him to do his nasty work in her own crib. She would have been dissected, laid out in her own living room. You literally invited the enemy in. Oh my God. And she's safe to this day. And obviously the man, something going on with that. But that's absolutely unbelievable. And this is just an eye-opener. Like, I feel like there's too many stories. Women, it's just, you gotta be precautious. And men, I'm not gonna lie. Because anybody can be crazy. But I know, like me, I'm very precautious. Stop inviting people in your homes when you don't know them. Stop doing that. I've been taught that since I was a kid. My mama never really let our friends. She always just say like, no. So I'm accustomed to that. I'm not just allowing people in my space, in my crib, in my face, everything. This woman could have literally been gone had she had been maybe too sleepy to think harder. Or another thing, I always follow my intuition, ladies. Listen to your intuition and that gut feeling. That first thought is usually the right thought to go on. Stop thinking that you overthinking shit. No. I'ma always go with my gut. I always listen to my intuition, and I'm never wrong. Listen to your intuition. Listen to what your gut is telling you off rip. Like, for example, if you feel like a dude is not being loyal to you, or a dude is not being honest with you, or a dude is like doing some weird stuff behind your back, 9 times out of 10, it's probably right. Like, you know what I mean? If you're having a conversation with somebody and you just feel like they lying, they probably are. You know what I'm saying? Like, stop trying to be like, oh, but you think too hard. No, think hard. I just wanted to get that story out and let y'all know, like, if y'all didn't hear about that, that's actually crazy. Protect yourselves, okay? Stop linking up with random people at nighttime. If you're gonna go out and be going on dates with people, do that stuff during the day. And I know even the day is not saving you, but do it during the day. You have more of an opportunity to get yourself out of a situation or avoid a terrible situation based on what time of day you even choose to go and do stuff. That's crazy.
This whole story is hella bizarre because to me, the way I'm always so suspicious of everyone, I remember I was dating this man and I went to his house one time, and that was after a few dates, right? I got comfortable with him and I went to his house, and this man made one comment to me, and I never went back to his house ever again, because he first of all made a comment saying that he is the only one that have control over his doorbells. So he can control how he lock and unlock his door through his phone. So I would need your password in order to escape your house. That was the first thing I noticed, right? And even the gate and everything is like locked down and everything. And I asked him one time, like, how are your neighbors? And he had the nerve to tell me that, oh, well, he started talking about this one neighbor who he think is creepy because one day he saw like a girl running out of the man's house, literally half naked, because the girl was trying to escape from the man. And automatically I thought that he was the creepy neighbor. I'm so happy this girl actually listened to her intuition and her gut feeling, because your gut, your stomach is your first brain, really, because you always feel weird in your gut before you feel it, because you always double think yourself. Sometimes you're thinking, oh, I'm overthinking this and I'm overthinking that, but you have to listen to your first thought. Because let me tell you, one time I was seeing this man, right, and after like a few dates, I ended up going to his house, and I went to his house twice, and the second time I went to his house, he made this comment, and I left the house. I never went back, because he made a comment telling me that, and I could tell too, because like he had one of those modern locks on his door, and he literally told me that he was the only one that could control the lock in his door from his phone. So I would have to have his password to unlock his phone to be able to get myself out of his house if I were to be stalking the house. And then he made another comment, because I asked him about how are his neighbors, because he was literally talking about like moving in and everything. So I was like, oh, how are your... I have to say too, he was like the perfect boyfriend. Like, this man was spending money on me. He was taking me shopping, doing all these things that I wanted. He came off as like the perfect man, and he even called me his little princess. I was his princess. But anyways, when he made that comment, I was like, there's something wrong with you. Because let me tell you, the first day I went to his house, he turned his TV on and he had pay-per-view playing on the screen. As someone who's going to your house for the first time as a guest, I don't know if this. And then when I made a face, he told me, he said, "Oh, are you uncomfortable? Like, I'm supposed to be comfortable with that, you know?" On his big screen, he got pay-per-view playing, and I was uncomfortable with it, so he changed it, which is very fair. I don't think like I said anything wrong by saying that I was uncomfortable with you putting this on TV while I'm at your house, and I'm like, the first time at your house. But the second time I asked him about his neighbor, I was like, "Oh, how are your neighbors?" Because we were talking about like, well, he was talking about moving in. He even had me pick the color that he was going to paint his house because he thought it was important that I picked the color and everything. I was like, whoa. So like right off the bat, I already thought that was a red flag, because we don't even know each other for more than 3 months and you already have me picking the color that you want to paint your house. And then you tell me all these things about how you're the only one that can control the lock in your home, and I'm literally inside your home. Meanwhile, the first time I went to your house, you had pay-per-view playing. Like, why do you have pay-per-view playing and you have someone at your house as a guest? So when I asked him, how are your neighbors, then he came to tell me that, oh, well, all of my neighbors are fine except for this creepy guy that live across the street. One time I was like, why is he so creepy? What make him so creepy? He says, oh yeah, one day I saw this one girl and she was basically running out of his house screaming, begging for help, half naked. This man was keeping the girl in the basement, well, not the basement, but in a room locked up, and she was running for help. So in my head, automatically I was thinking, this man is a creepy guy. He is a creepy guy, okay? Because how do you know all this? Why do you have to bring that up? I asked you this. And don't get me wrong, maybe I was overthinking it a bit. Maybe I was over-exaggerating a bit. I did have like some cookies with him because he's one of those people that like eat like those edible cookies. So I had a little bit with him, and I think maybe I was tripping. But normally when I feel uneasy about something, I follow my guts, and I'm glad that this girl followed her guts and called the police, because this girl could have let her killer in the house and she would have been Dexter. I keep saying Dexter. I don't know if you guys seen the show Dexter, where he like put on the plastic and then kill people and then basically clean it all up, because everything, all the blood and everything gets on the plastic, so you don't have to do that much cleaning. So yeah, so when I saw that and when I heard that, it brought chills down my back, and I was like, this is crazy. And plus, he used to be a CO in a jail. I don't know why I put these two together, and I'm like, I can't trust this man. I don't know, because he was a CO and police know where to. And my thing is, if I had knew that he was a CEO, I would have never given him the time of day. And I met him in person, actually. I met him while I was coming from work. He was coming from visiting someone at the hospital, and he saw me in the parking lot, and he called me because I thought he was with his son, and his son was real cute. But I do like older men, so when I saw that he called me, I thought he was calling me for his son. I never thought like it was gonna be for him. So he ended up giving me his number, and he has like a yacht, not a yacht, but like a boat. So then he invited me on his boat, and I never went on the boat, but I did see the boat at his house, so I know that was his boat. I don't know. People could have things propped up there. Maybe it wasn't even his. Maybe it was for his friends. I don't know, but I never really got to experience the boat, but I did get to experience a lot of the money that he had. But anyway, so I found out that he was a CEO. I'm like, look, you doing all these things, saying all these things, and plus you used to be a CEO. Police and those kind of people know where the bodies are buried, so I don't trust. I would never date a cop because they know where the body. And literally, like, I had met him maybe 2 months prior, and then it was time for me to go on this girls trip with my girlfriends for one of my friend's birthday. This man ended up taking me shopping, like a shopping spree, and then gave me like an envelope full of money just for the vacation. So if he wasn't acting all weird and making comments like this, I probably would have given him a chance and continue. But the way I was feeling, like I was feeling so uneasy with this man, I was like, look. And even when I was going to his house, I would literally write his address and information on my desk in my house, like leave it on my vanity table in case something happened to me. You know what I mean? So I always had this gut feeling going to this man's house. So I was like, look, and I only went there twice. The second time I heard the story about the little creepy man that I thought was him being the creepy guy the whole time. And guess what? He was a very, very Christian man too. But I was like, look, this man made me feel so uneasy. I could not go to his house. And that was it. I was like, look, I'm done. I don't care how much money you're giving me, how much you take care of me, calling me princess. I don't care. It make me